Let's face it, Red Dead Redemption 2 has a buttload of characters, many of whom can be yanked from the roster without really affecting the main plot, but Sadie Adler is not one of them. Here's why the badass bounty hunter is more important than you think. Oh, and if you haven't finished the game yet, spoilers ahead. Choose any other female character in Red Dead Redemption 2 and ask yourself, what's their backstory? What motivates them? Sadly, if you're a woman in the Van der Linde gang, you exist solely to advance someone else's narrative, not your own. That is, unless you're Sadie Adler.
Been quite a journey since I joined you fellas.
We have to credit Rockstar for making Red Dead Redemption 2 as much about Sadie Adler as it is about Arthur Morgan and John Marston. You don't get to play as Sadie, which is a crime really, but she gets a full story of her own, which you can watch play out through the eyes of both Arthur and John. And her story is far more interesting too. From her introduction early on in the game to her departure at its conclusion, everything Sadie does is riveting. And frankly, that's not something you can say about some of the other characters, regardless of their gender. The beauty of Sadie Adler's character is that a narrative arc fits right in with the theme of redemption in both John's and Arthur's stories. When we happen upon Sadie early on in Red Dead Redemption 2, she's a broken housewife, mourning her murdered husband. She joins the gang and mostly skulks in the corner of camp, consumed by her sadness. But over time, she opens up. She befriends Arthur and tags along on some of his missions. She eventually decides she wants to be one of the guns in the gang, and buys herself a whole new outfit to look the part. She harbors hatred toward the O'Driscolls, and doesn't miss an opportunity to exact her revenge on the man who killed her husband. And most importantly, she defies the damsel in distress trope. It's a fresh change of pace from games so often populated by princesses that need saving.
We're hunted. And them things hunting us, well, they got guns of their own.
I ain't afraid of dying.
Eventually, she parts ways with the gang and becomes a bounty hunter, letting all of that revenge business stay in the past where it belongs. Sadie Adler redeems herself in the end, just as Arthur and John did, and it's all we could have asked for regarding one of Red Dead's best characters. When the gang's ship capsizes during a storm following a Saint Denis job that goes wrong, it strands the gang on an island called Guarma, leaving those back at Shady Belle without their fighters. Sadie wisely moves what's left of the gang away from Shady Belle, knowing full well that the Pinkertons will come search it, and finds them a new home in Lakay. And Sadie also ensures Dutch, Arthur, and the rest will be able to find the new location once they arrive back on the mainland. She leaves a coded letter at Shady Belle from her Caroline, letting the guns know where to regroup with everyone else.
Mrs. Adler, we owe you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, Sadie is directly responsible for reuniting the gang after its members are separated. Without Sadie, who knows how things would have ended. Let's count the ways that John's life would be considerably crappier if it weren't for Sadie Adler. When John is hauled off to Sisika Penitentiary, Sadie meets up with the hot air balloon operator, enlisting his help to fly Arthur out above the prison's island. Sadie helps Arthur fight off a pack of O'Driscoll gang members on the way there, and Sadie rows to the island with Arthur and rescues John, saving him from a potential death sentence.
Oh, hurry up! They're gonna be on our tails soon enough if you boys keep wasting time.
Next, she lent Mr. Marston a helping hand when he realized he couldn't pay off the mortgage on his ranch at Beecher's Hope. After the gang goes their separate ways following Arthur's death, Sadie sent John a letter asking him to meet with her, and pitched him on working as a bounty hunter. Sadie's bounty hunting gig ultimately helped John afford his mortgage payments, giving him some runway to build the ranch while still having a source of income.
Can you send my money to the bank for me?
Of course.
I'm supposed to be retired from this.
This? Weren't nothing. Just a simple arrest.
That's two. Finally, we've got the elephant, or should we say rat, in the room. She helped put down the sleazebag Micah. When Sadie finally got a lead on where the traitor was hiding out, she visited Beecher's Hope to collect John and Charles. And then the three rode off to finish Micah's story.
Come on now, Micah! At least die like a man!
Hellfire! It's just like old times.
Sadie is immensely useful on this mission, managing to pull a gun on Micah despite having suffered a stab wound earlier. And her work beforehand tracking Micah down gave John the chance to do what all three had always wanted, shoot Micah dead. There's a very good chance that without Sadie, Micah might have lived out his remaining days without ever having to worry about retribution. Sadie kept the revenge mission alive and made sure everyone else saw it through to the end. That's three. When Red Dead Redemption 3 inevitably debuts, whenever that ends up being, the obvious choice to play the lead role in that game is Sadie Adler.
When you gonna let me come robbing with you, Dutch?
My lord, a few more like her, we could take over the whole world.
It's assumed that Sadie leaves for South America at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. And plot-wise, that could help explain her absence during the events of Red Dead Redemption. Sadie could conceivably come back after that, seeking out revenge against those who killed her friends. Or Sadie could remain in South America and be the star of a whole new story there. Sadie is a fan-favorite character. She's got the skills, she's got the guts, and she's got the personality to lead her own Red Dead Redemption title.
Give me a drink or something!
Get your own damn drink!
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SVG videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.